Hi, welcome to Conquer the Concept. In this video, we'll learn how to graph quadratics. So, quadratics are formed in the ax squared plus bx plus c form, and they make a u or upside down u on the xy parabola, xy coordinate. So, in this video, we'll learn how to actually graph a specific parabola, a quadratic on the xy coordinate with a few tricks and shortcuts. So we can use the minus b over 2a formula to find the line of symmetry, the average of the two roots, and the x-coordinate of the vertex. So if we divide the negative version of the coefficient of the x squared term by twice the coefficient of the so if we divide the negative version of the x term by twice the coefficient of the x squared term, we will get the line of symmetry, um, x coordinate of the vertex, and average of the two roots. So if the coefficient of the x squared term, is negative, the parabola will be facing down, meaning it will be like an upside down U. And if if a is positive, then it will form a U or a pot, basically. So, in the roots, as we learned, where the x values in which the parabola, in which the quadratic is 0, they tell you where on the parabola where on the xy coordinate will the parabola intersect on the x-axis. So, if the roots are, let's say, 3 and 7, then the parabola will intersect at 3, 0 and 7, 0. And lastly, C, the constant term, will tell you where the parabola intersects on the y-axis. So just a small tip, if x minus 3 is a factor, then 3 is equal to x, meaning that 3 is a root. So let's try a problem. So our problem is x squared minus 6x plus 5. We can use the same shortcuts and tips to find where it graphs on the xy coordinate. So if we label what a, b, and c are, a is equal to 1, b is equal to -6, and c is equal to 5. We can use the minus b over 2a formula to find the line of symmetry, x coordinate of the vertex, and average of the roots. So we can do that, and we would get minus 6 over 2 times 1, which would simplify to 6 over 2, which would simplify to 3. So 3 is the line of symmetry, the x coordinate of the vertex, and the average of the roots. We can plug in 3 as x into the x squared minus 6x plus 5 to find the y coordinate of the vertex, and thus the entire vertex. So let's do that. So if we plug in 3, then we would find 3 squared minus 6 times 5 plus 5. And once again, this is to find the complete vertex. So let's do 3 squared is 9, minus 6 times 5 is 30, plus 5, which can simplify to 9 minus 30 is -21, plus 5, which is equal to -16. So this is -16 is the y coordinate, and 3 is the x coordinate, so we can do 3 comma -16, which is the complete vertex. So we can then find the roots by factoring or using the quadratic formula. Let's use the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And we have a video on that. You could go check it out if you want to. Then we can plug in a, b, and c into there. So we would get minus 6 plus minus the square root of minus 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5 over 2 times 1, which could simplify to 6 plus minus the square root of minus 6 squared, which is 36, minus 4 times 1 times 5, which is 20, over 2 times 1, which is 2. And we could simplify this to 6 plus minus the square root of 16 over 2. And then again, we could simplify to 6 plus minus 4 over 2. And then we could break it down into 2 parts, which is 6 plus 4 over 2 and 6 minus 4 over 2. 6 plus 4 over 2 would lead us to 10 over 2, which is 5. And 6 minus 4 over 2 would lead us to 2 over 2, which is 1. So 5 and 1 are two roots. So 1 comma 0 and 5 comma 0 is where our parabola will intersect on the x-axis. So 1 comma 0 is right here. 5 comma 0 is right here, and let's graph our vertex 2, which again is 3 comma negative 16. We found that out by doing the minus b over 2a to find the x coordinate first, and then we plugged it in into the quadratic x squared minus 6x plus 5 to find the y coordinate, and thus the entire vertex. So 3 comma 16, it doesn't fit on our parabola, so it's somewhere around here. Around here. And then we can use, again, from our shortcuts, C is where the parabola intersects on the y-axis, and C in this case is 5. So we can just plot 5 right here. And since since the x squared term is positive, this parabola will form a U shape and not a upside down U. And so another thing about parabolas is that they're symmetrical. So that means if you should be able to, if you folded them in half, but on the line of symmetry, which in this case is 3, then you should get 2 equal halves. And so because there's this so and the points should match up. So there's a 5 here. There could also be a 5 right here. So we have enough points to plot the parabola. And let's do so. So the parabola would look something like that. So it's not the neatest of drawings, but that would give you a good idea of what the parabola looks like. If you learned and liked this video, please subscribe and comment down below and like the video. And thank you for watching. Bye.